name. Hare Krishna. Today we're reading the Glories of Rama Ekadashi. Tomorrow is Ekadashi in New York, New Jersey, also in India, but in some other states, places, it is today, Thursday, October 16th, but everywhere else it is October 17th, Friday. So we'll read the Rama Ekadashi Katha. So in the Brahma Vaivatra Puran, Maharaj Yudhishthir asked Lord Krishna, "O Janardhan, what is the name of the Ekadashi that occurs during the waning moon in the month of October, November? Please describe its glories to me." Lord Krishna replied, "The name of this Ekadashi is Rama Ekadashi. It eradicates the greatest sins and awards passage to the spiritual world. Please hear for me its history and glories." So this Rama Ekadashi is one of the biggest Ekadashis of the year. Everyone should fast during this Ekadashi. First, it is Kartik Mas. Anything, any pious activity, pure activity, good deed that we perform during this Kartik Mas gets magnified thousands of times. Right? Some sadhus even say it is millions of times, 100,000 times. Right? So we should all take this opportunity that we have received in this valuable human birth. If we didn't know about this, or if we had not heard about this, or anything, that is different. Now that we have heard, we know we should try to fast if we can. So here is the history and the glories as Lord Krishna described it to Maharaj Yudhishthir. Long ago, there was a famous king named Muchukanda, who always rendered devotional service to the Lord. He was good friends with Indra, other demigods, and devotees. Because he always abided by proper conduct and was truthful, there were no disturbances in his kingdom. Today, you will see everywhere, all of the political leaders, everywhere there are disturbances going on all across the world. Why? Because everyone is doing it for themselves. Over here, look how the kings acted back in the days. Right? They abided proper conduct, they followed the rules and the etiquettes, and they were truthful. Right? Today, everybody is working in the best interest of just themselves. They don't care about anyone else. The compassion has gone away from the humanity. So, but this king, he was friends with Indra, the demigods, and devotees. And because he was truthful and followed and ruled with proper conduct, there were no disturbances in the society. So, this tells us that if there are disturbances in the society, it's because of the leader. So, we should be very careful when we choose a leader. And having, Srila Prabhupada said that having a leader who is Krishna consciousness or God conscious, right, makes the most difference. It will cause for a peaceful society. So King Muchukanda had a beautiful daughter named Chandrabhaga. She married Shobna, the son of King Chandrasen. One day, Shobna visited the house of his father-in-law on the day of Rama Ekadashi. Chandrabhaga became worried because she knew her husband was physically weak and unable to fast on Ekadashi. In her father's kingdom, everyone, including animals, strictly observed Ekadashi, fasting without even drinking water. Look how conscious and aware people were of Ekadashi back in the day. Over here nowadays, the young generation, our youth, even adults, a lot of people do not even know what Ekadashi is. Why do we fast on Ekadashi? And so look how the time is changing, and this now Kali Yuga is still a very small baby, and it is still there's so much commotion still across the world. Nothing seems to be in order. Just imagine when Kali Yuga grows up and it becomes worse as time passes by. What will happen to all of the living beings in this planet? So Shobna decided he would also fast on the sacred Ekadashi, but he became so weak from hunger and thirst that he died just before sunrise the next day. Just before opening the fast, before the time came, Shobna died. King Muchukanda completed Shobna's funeral rites. However, he did not allow his daughter to enter the fire along with her husband. Instead, she continued to live in her father's house. Back in the day, also, the principles of sati were followed. But if the husband passed away, the wife also would go and burn in that same fire. But King Muchukunda kept his daughter at home and she continued to live with him. By the influence of observing Rama Ekadashi, Shobna became king of a beautiful city of Devpura. Situated at the peak of Mandara mountain, he lived in an opulent residence and was served by Gandharvas and Apsaras. His kingdom was so magnificent, it appeared that he was a second Indra, the king of heaven. One day, a Brahmana named Somasarma from Muchukanda's kingdom came to Shobna's kingdom while he was traveling to the holy places. He recognized Shobana to be the son in law of King Muchukanda. When Shobna saw Somasarma, he happily welcomed him and inquired about his well being and that of his father in law Muchukanda and his wife Chandrabhaga and all the residents of the kingdom. Somasarma informed Shobna that everyone was living in peace and harmony. He then asked in amazement, O king, I have never seen such a beautiful city like this before. Please tell me, how have you obtained this kingdom? So Somasarma, who came from Muchukanda's kingdom, was asking Shobna, how did you achieve this kingdom? Shobna replied, by the influence of observing Rama Ekadashi, I have received this kingdom. But because I observe the Ekadashi without fate, it is temporary and it can disappear at any time. Please advise me how my kingdom can become permanent. Explain this to Chandrabhaga because I believe she is capable of making this kingdom steady and permanent. Just like this material world, everything is temporary. And that's what Shobna was worried about. That this can disappear at any time because I did not fast with faith, with devotion, with love for Krishna. When we fast, we do not fast because we have to, without faith that, oh my God, Ekadashi is coming, I have to fast again. We fasted because we love Krishna, and Krishna becomes happy when one observes the Ekadashi fast. So we are fasting for our beloved. Right? We are fasting to please our Supreme, to please our whole, to please our owner, right? To please our friend. We are fasting for him. Because Krishna becomes happy when we fast for Ekadashi. So don't do the fasting out of just purely just because you have to follow some rituals. Do it out of love, out of devotion. Because otherwise the results also come in that manner. Right? And Krishna says that however one comes to me, right? With whatever vow, I fulfill that vow. Let us fast with love, with devotion for Krishna. That Krishna will become happy for if I fast on this day. I'm not fasting for any benefits, for any fruits. I'm just fasting for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. Actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also in the Sikshashtakam says, Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kamay, mama janmaneshwari, bhavatad bhaktir ahitukitva. Oh my Lord, I do not want any number of followers. I do not want any women. I do not want liberation. I don't want anything. I just want your loving devotional service birth after birth. So whatever we do in devotion, we should do it with love and for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. Right? So Som Sarma returned to King Muchukanda's kingdom and told everything to Chandrabhaga in detail. She became joyful to know that her husband was alive. Again, we all know that the body just dies, but the soul can never die. It can never be washed for it cannot be flown away by the wind. It cannot be cut by the knife, nothing. Right? So Somasarma described the brilliant kingdom of Devpura and explained how it could disappear at any moment. Therefore, she should try to make Shobna's kingdom steady. Chandrabhaga said, O respected Brahmana, please take me to Devpura because I have an intense desire to see my husband. I will make his kingdom steady by the strength of all the Ekadashis I have observed. On the way to Devpura, Chandrabhaga visited the ashram of sage Vamadev, situated near the Mandara mountain. She explained the situation to Vamadev, and he initiated her with Vedic mantras. By the influence of these mantras and the piety accumulated by observing so many Ekadashis, Chandrabhaga obtained a spiritual body. She then happily went to meet her husband. Upon seeing his wife, Shobna became pleased and satisfied. Chandrabhaga said, My dear husband, I have strictly been observing Ekadashi since the age of 8 at the house of my father. May that accumulated merit make your kingdom steady and prosperous until the time of annihilation. So now this kingdom is permanent, but where till the time of annihilation? Right? So we need to understand, even if we get something that is permanent, it will not last forever and ever. There will come a time where this whole Milky Way will be annihilated. Then what will happen to all of us? Before that, let us go back to Krishna, where we came from. Let us walk on this path of bhakti. And Kartik Maas is the best time to do that. You should offer the ghee diya every day to Lord Krishna. And just simply by offering, millions and millions of our sins are destroyed. And when we offer, we think that how is that possible? But Krishna is so merciful that he is pleased with this ghee lamp offering also. It seems so simple, but the benefit that it has, we have no idea. We cannot comprehend, our mind cannot imagine. And that too during this Kartik Maas. Right? This is nothing but Krishna's mercy upon us. In fact, I also met a person who used to try to do a lot of chanting, meditation, and every day used to try new things. Until recently, one day he said he came across Premanandji Maharaj telling everyone to chant Radha's name. And he began to chant that. And he said it began making so much a difference in his life. Because apart from Radha Krishna, there is no one in this world that is supreme apart from Krishna. Right? So we all should take this opportunity and not lose it. We don't know how long we are going to be alive. Every day is a gift from Krishna. So let us use the gift he's given us for him. So thereafter, having received a divine body decorated with opulent ornaments, she began to enjoy the association of her husband. By the influence of observing Rama Ekadashi, Sobna also received a divine body and began to enjoy with his wife at the peak of Mandara mountain. Therefore, this Rama Ekadashi is just like a wish fulfilling cow or a touchstone. Right? Sometimes you go and you think that, okay, this cow is going to fulfill my wishes. The stone, you touch it, it's like it'll fulfill all your wishes. Rama Ekadashi is just like that. But we again fast for the pleasure of Krishna, not for any material benefit. Lord Krishna continued, O king, I have thus explained to you the glories of the auspicious Rama Ekadashi. A person who strictly observes this vow of Ekadashi is undoubtedly freed from sin, just as black cows and white cows both give white milk. Similarly, Ekadashis of waning moon and Ekadashis of waxing moon both award liberation to the followers. Anyone who hears the glories of this Ekadashi becomes liberated from all sinful reactions and happily resides in the abode of Lord Vishnu. So that ends the Katha of Rama Ekadashi. Let us all take this opportunity tomorrow to get up in the morning and fast Try to wake up before sunrise and bathe if possible. And then also in the morning before you sit and chant, offer a diya, a ghee lamp to Krishna first, singing the Damodarashtakam, and sit and chant and spend your whole day thinking about Krishna, thinking about activities of Krishna, that what am I doing in my life for Krishna, thinking about everything. Every single activity that we're doing, right? Just process in your brain how we're doing this for Krishna. And in that way, you become Krishna conscious if you're always thinking about Krishna, and we will continue to receive all of the mercy flowing through our spiritual master. We'll end over here and then we'll continue next week again with the Bhagavad Katha. So please, tomorrow is Rama Ekadashi. Try to fast if possible. We'll end here. Before we end, we'll chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra Bihari Lal ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Damodar ji ki jai. जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय. निताय गौर हरि बोल. जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे. हरे कृष्ण.